Close your eyes for a moment and ask a strange question. Behind every thought you've ever had, every feeling, every memory, there's a sense of someone to whom all of this is happening. A you. Now imagine that sense of self simply switching off. Not death, not sleep. Something the contemplative traditions call awakening. Here's the question that has split two of the greatest spiritual philosophies in human history for over 2,000 years. When the self dissolves, what remains? Two answers. Both come from India. Both agree on the starting problem, that the everyday I, the personality, the ego, is a kind of illusion or construction that causes suffering. And both say, liberation means seeing through it. But then they diverge completely. Advaita Vedānta, the non-dual school associated with the philosopher Shankara, says, strip away the personality and you find awareness itself. Pure, boundless, eternal. It was never the personality. It was the light in which the personality appeared. Buddhism says, strip away the personality and you find no hidden self at all. Just process. Just experience, arising and passing, with nobody behind it. One quick honesty note. Hinduism isn't one philosophy. It's a family of very different ones. Advaita is just one member. So this isn't Hinduism versus Buddhism. It's Advaita versus Buddhism, which, as we'll see, are actually the two closest rivals in the whole conversation. Let's steelman Advaita first. The core move is this. Consciousness is not something you produce. It's the ground everything shows up in. Every experience you've ever had appeared within awareness. Sights, sounds, thoughts, even the feeling of being a self. But awareness itself is never an object you can find. You can't turn around and see the seer. Advaita calls this ground Brahman, and it describes it with three words: sat-cit-ananda, being, consciousness, bliss. It is self-luminous. It doesn't need anything else to reveal it. Here's the famous image. Think of many clay pots, each filled with water, each reflecting the sun. It looks like many little suns. But there's one sun. Break the pots. The reflections vanish, and nothing real is lost. The one light was never divided. You are a pot. The personality is the pot. But the light in you, awareness, is the same light in everyone and everything. So when Advaita says God is everywhere, it means literally that. The one awareness takes countless forms and is the innermost reality of all of them. Enlightenment isn't gaining something new. It's recognizing what you always already were. Tat tvam asi. You are that. Now the Buddhist answer, and it's a direct challenge. The Buddhist teaching is anattā, not self. His claim is radical. Look as carefully as you like, meditate as deeply as you can, and you will never find a permanent, unchanging self behind experience. Not a soul. Not even Advaita's pure awareness. What you'll find instead is a bundle of processes. The Buddhists list 5: form, sensation, perception, mental formations, and consciousness. The skandhas, constantly flowing, constantly conditioning each other. There's an old dialogue. A king asks a monk, Nagasena, "What is a chariot? Is it the wheels? No. The axle? No. The frame? No. Take every part away, and there's no extra chariot essence hiding underneath. Chariot is just a useful word for the parts working together. And so, says the monk, is the self. So what continues from moment to moment or life to life? Not a soul passing through. Think of one candle lighting another. The flame continues, but no thing travels across. Just cause and effect, endlessly. This is why for Buddhism there's no eternal awareness sitting behind it all. Even consciousness is one of the changing processes, not the eternal ground. So here's the real fault line, and it's subtle, which is why it's confused so often. Advaita says the ground of all experience is a something, positive, self-aware, eternal. Call it awareness, call it Brahman, call it God. Buddhism says ground is the wrong idea entirely. There is no final something underneath. There's just this, arising, dependent, empty of any self-standing essence. Now, one crucial correction, because this trips everyone up. Buddhism's answer is often called nothingness. That's misleading. The Buddha did not teach that nothing exists. When pressed on whether an enlightened being exists or doesn't exist after death, he refused all four options. Exists, doesn't, both, neither. He called such questions unhelpful, and the key term, śūnyatā, emptiness, does not mean non-existence. It means empty of inherent, independent existence. Things are real, but nothing stands on its own. Everything depends on everything else. So it's not, there is nothing. It's closer to, there is no separate, self-contained thing anywhere, not even the emptiness. That's why these two are such close rivals. They meditate toward the same silence. They just describe the far shore in opposite words. One is fullness of being, the other is freedom from any fixed essence. Medieval critics even accused Shankara of being a hidden Buddhist. That's how close and how fierce the argument is. Now bring in the modern voice in the room, brain science. Because neuroscience has been quietly circling this exact question, where is the self? And its early answer sounds startling. It can't find one either. There is no single spot in the brain where you live. No command center, no inner screen with a viewer sitting behind it. What we call the self appears to be a construction, a model the brain builds and continuously updates, stitching memory, body sensation, and prediction into the feeling of a continuous person. Two findings stand out. First, the default mode network, a set of brain regions active when your mind wanders, ruminates, tells its story about me. In long-term meditators, this network quiets down, and its quieting tracks with reports of the self's boundaries softening, the very thing both traditions are pointing at. Second, experiments with meditation and certain altered states can produce ego dissolution, a measurable state where the felt boundary between self and world drops away, and it correlates with changes in how these networks talk to each other. So, who does neuroscience side with? On the surface, it sounds Buddhist. No fixed self, just process maps neatly onto no self module, just dynamic construction. The chariot and the brain scan agree. Take it apart, and there's no essence hiding inside. But, and this is the honest catch, neuroscience studies the contents of experience, the constructed self, the story, the model. Advaita's claim was never about the contents. It was about awareness itself, the fact that there is experiencing at all, and that, why there is any inner light rather than just processing in the dark, is exactly what science still cannot explain. Philosophers call it the hard problem of consciousness. So the debate isn't settled by the scanner. Neuroscience dissolves the personality. And there, Buddhism and Advaita already agreed. It leaves the deeper question, is there awareness beneath or only process? Wide open. Where does this leave us? Maybe with a better question than, who's right? All three, the Advaitin, the Buddhist, the neuroscientist, are knocking down the same wall. The belief that you are the small, separate, defended personality in your head. On that, they're unanimous. It's constructed. It's not the whole story. And clinging to it as if it were solid is a reliable recipe for suffering. Where they part ways is the far side of that wall. Is it filled with a silent, boundless awareness that was you all along? Or is it open, groundless, free, no essence to grasp, and no need for one? Here's what's worth sitting with. You don't have to settle the metaphysics to feel the pull of the practice. Whether what remains is everything or no thing, both traditions promise the same fruit, a loosening of the grip of me and a strange, spacious peace on the other side of it. The drop falls, the ripple fades, the water was never separate from the pool. If this stirred something, sit with the question for 5 minutes today, not thinking about the self, just watching for it. See if you can find who's watching. Subscribe if you want more of these, where philosophy, the contemplative traditions, and modern science meet.